one of my good buddies is like, hey, how come you guys don't sell the tools that you use? And I'm like, oh, I don't know, it's a good question, we probably should. So here it is. You can buy all these individually, or you can buy them as a kit and save a few dollars. But basically, these are all of the Allen key or torque things that you would need to service an Atlas Gunworks gun, including anything to do with the sight plate system. So I'm going to run through and show you how they all work. But they're all premium tools. The really great thing about some of the tools here is that their life can be extended and your life can be made easier by being able to adjust the Allen key that's in here. It's just a straight Allen key that pulls in and out. And by doing that, I can control how far away from the gun I stay for scratching the gun purposes, trying to minimize that, as well as this face gets worn, I can just cut it down and square it up and get another, nice clean edges on my Allen key, which is key to not stripping Allen screws. So all of these come in a bag, and they also come with the screw to adjust them. I believe it's a 1/16 inch screw to adjust them in and out. The refills will be available on the website shortly. We're working on that now. But this is the actual tools that we have on the bench. So like, here's my actual personal tool. This is a kit I just opened, but an actual personal tool for doing for the 10 plus torque screw. So I'm just going to run through these one at a time. There's a little hole in any of your alpha grips. This is one of my favorite features, and that allows this 1.5 millimeter Allen key to move in and out. That's my over travel on my trigger, so that's too much. So I'm going to go counterclockwise here. That's pretty good. And so it's really fast and easy. Instead of taking that 1.5 millimeter and cranking it and touching the side of the gun, just insert and spin. So 1.5 millimeter works great for that. The 1/8 is for your rear grip screws. Those require a little blue Loctite, so put a little pressure on there. If you're not having any luck, a little bit of heat from a heat gun or a hairdryer works extremely well. Only one of those included in the kit. Only one necessary. Next is the front grip bushing. Now that's a bushing with 2 screws put into it, so you need 2 1/16 inch Allen keys. So this is a little close to the gun, like I was talking about. So if it slipped on the bottom here, it might touch the gun. So you see me just pop over here, and I'll just extend these 2. Oh, and the smaller ones have a little smaller Allen key, but it's in the bag. Worry not. So there's 2 sizes for those. That's news to me. Make that a little longer. Yeah, the 1/16 is what the actual are. It's probably a 5/32 on the bigger ones. So there's one a little bit longer. Now we use red Loctite up here, so you really want to make sure that you've got some traction when you start to turn these. And if it doesn't want to move, you're going to put a heat gun on there for sure. The rear, this is the only spot in the gun, in the standard guns that aren't open guns that get red Loctite. So I got my 2. I'm going to turn. And when those things start to really flex and turn down here and they're not moving, then I get the heat gun out. So I won't take that all the way off, but if you use these a couple times and your edges are getting a little round here, again, use a cutting surface, a flat cutting surface, and cut those back a little bit. So there's your 1/16. You need 2 of those. The 5/64 does a couple different things. On any gun with a sight plate system, that's going to attach your Allen screws to the sight plate, and then on any of your open guns, it's also going to attach the sight mount that would be drilled and tapped for the frame down here for an open gun. So this is a common one. Again, this one's really important. We use blue Loctite when we put this together for real instead of a demo purpose, and so a little bit of heat if you need it is always good. And then as you wear those tips, cut this back, cut it back, and you'll have nice fresh biting edges. Next, I'm going to install an SRO in here. Now, except for I believe the Trijicon CC, the new one, all of the sight plates use our rear screws. So the screws that come with the sights are no good. We don't use, they're so different, and sometimes the quality's up and down, the length isn't correct. So we send screws with the Optic plates So use whatever screws we sent you. They almost all exclusively use a 2.5 millimeter. And so this is the 2.5 millimeter that we sell. It's a premium Allen key. Premium tools make a big difference. And so I'm going to tighten this up. And so what I do is I use the ball end of this one to just spin everything in and then to really loosen stuff up. And so we can do the same thing with this that we're doing with these, in that over time, if this is getting the edges rounded off, we can cut this back and get nice fresh edges till we get to the end here. But again, my tip for doing anything with an Allen key is you see me apply pressure and the Allen key starts to bend, and there's a certain amount you'll get used to, and it's probably something like I'm showing you right here as I'm holding this one back. But if you're bending it and it's not moving like this, then we want to start to apply heat to the screw. It works well too with the L-shaped ones to actually apply heat while the Allen key's in there. It kind of directs that heat down. With the optics on, be careful, don't melt your optic. But a little bit of heat goes a long way. Blue Loctite usually holds these in. And as you push, if you can feel it start to move and not strip, then once it's loose, I'll come back and use the ball end. But if you use the Allen key properly, you'll just get a feel for when they're, getting nearing stripping or whatever. And then if we weaken these, just cut it back and then again apply some heat, and that solves that problem a lot. The one we haven't looked at so far is this 10 plus. This is a Torx 10 plus. That's what we use for the adjustable iron sight, and that's unique to just that one screw. And that was for us to be able to avoid putting a big ugly screw up front or anything here. It really flows nicely to have these two Torx right here. And contrary to a lot of people's belief, you can't get every screw style and every length and size and pitch, so you use what's available and also what's really available and still a quality product. Screws can be cheap and screws can be expensive, and the quality varies as well. So you're always trying to find something that is a quality product and is nice and strong, and that they're a little stronger and more heat treat here, so they don't strip out nearly as fast. So we're always using whatever the best product is to do those things. So quality tools and quality screws go a long way. If your screws start to strip out in the heads, just replace them. They're inexpensive. Screw kits should be on the website as well. Hope to see you guys on the range soon. If you need a tool kit, buy the kit as a whole kit. If you have an optic gun. If you don't, you can mix and match what you need. And I hope to see you guys on the range soon.